E aí, seus porras, como é que vocês estão? Bem-vindos a mais um vídeo de, como eu já ia falar, Cry of Fear. Slay the Princess, The Priest Cut, episódio 5, se eu não me engano, 5 ou 6, não sei. Eu acho que postado vai até o episódio 2 ou 3, não vou saber, porque eu tô gravando um atrás do outro e não tô postando, porque tá demorando demais pra postar os vídeos no YouTube. Deixa eu tirar aqui minha contenção, vamos lá, pra minha dicção ficar melhor. Então acho que tá no episódio 5, não sei. O problema é que se der problema na gravação, né, em uma dessas gravações, fudeu que eu vou ter que gravar tudo de novo. Por isso que eu tô deixando até os bagulhos salvos aqui. Mas sem mais delongas, vamos continuar. Vamos pro quarto aspecto, né? Eu acho que é o quarto.
You're on a path in the woods.
E foda-se. Tá. Tudo bem. Então, obrigado por me dizer o que fazer.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job.
Tá.
Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
Foda-se. Vamos até acabar, né? Vamos ver o que nos aguarda agora. Eu vou tentar matar essa porra, já chegar matando.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer.
Tá, vamos lá. Antes de continuar, pessoal, eu tava relendo, né, o que tem, aqueles textos que tem no início quando você abre o jogo. Aí tá dizendo que não existem finais prematuros, né? Então praticamente o final só ocorre quando eu assassino aquela entidade, né? Que tem a opção de assassinar aquela entidade e tal. Pra não ficar uma série com 5, 6 episódios, vamos fazer o máximo de aspectos que a gente conseguir, né? E ver se muda alguma coisa no final. Qualquer coisa a gente vê aí. Então vamos lá. Vamos pegar o punhal.
You take the blade from the table.
Vamos pular que a gente já sabe e vamos pro porão.
The door to the basement.
Tá. Continua descendo a escada.
You're still listening to reason.
Ela é tão friamente linda, ela é mesmo ameaçar o mundo.
Focus on the task at hand.
Vamos lá.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
É isso mesmo. Controlar o nervosismo e avançar.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steel your
Vamos ver se
resolve.
meu boneco deixa de ser frango.
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me?
Eu não sei, mano. Meu boneco é um merda, né? Apesar de ser um monstrão.
I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if that knife is the only weapon you have, you'll have to get close enough to use it.
É verdade. Tá certo.
So, you should just drop it. Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
Tá certo.
She's unarmed. If you hesitate now, it'll be too late. End this.
Vamos lá. Ceifar a princesa.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation. You feel flesh easily give way and look down to see your blade already sinking deep into her heart.
Foi fácil assim, mano? Eu sou uma galinha, mano. Olha as penas aqui. Tem um bocado de pena aqui no braço, velho. Eu sou a porra de uma galinha gigante. Aí é foda. Sou a porra de um frango, mano. Receba, sua putinha.
This is it, isn't it?
Acabou.
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder.
E agora?
Do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
Arranca a cabeça.
It's like she's convinced she can't die. Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well.
Matei porque essa puta já virou um diabo, uma porra de um dragão, um fantasma. Agora vamos matar nessa
But it's
porra.
over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago. That arrogant look still plastered on her face.
Caralho.
But is it over? Really over?
Pega a faquinha, amigo. Não tenho
It's
certeza.
over. You could check her sleeves if you want, but I can assure you that there's nothing hidden up there. We should make sure. What's the harm in checking for a pulse? I really don't think you should do that. And why shouldn't we? Is there something you're not telling us? I've told you everything that's happened with complete accuracy. The princess is dead. Your blade pierced her heart. There's no coming back from that.
Moveu o punhal.
You lean down and wrap your hand around the blade's hilt.
Vamos lá, galinha.
But as you begin to slide it out of its resting place, you feel a sharp and sudden jab in your side.
Nem fodendo que ela tá viva, mano.
What was that?
I guess I won't be dying alone after all.
Quick, let's get out of here. It's too late for that now. You collapse to the ground as the mortally wounded princess twists a blade of her own deeper between your ribs.
Ah, mas vai tomar no cu, cara. Véi, ela enfiou essa porra dessa faca onde, cara? Passou 3 cenários, ela não tinha uma faca e ela agora tirou uma faca do priquito dela, foi? Puta que pariu, mano. Aí é foda, mano.
As you fall, she falls with you, exhausted by the effort, the little life that was left in her eyes fading rapidly.
An eye for an eye. A life for a life.
Ah, não.
I guess we're even now.
Eu não vou aceitar isso, não. Ei, vai tomar no seu cu. Eu não vou aceitar isso, não, mano. Eu não vou aceitar isso. Eu não vou aceitar isso, cara. Eu não vou aceitar isso. Eu não vou aceitar isso, cara.
Her voice.
Who's there?
She said, "Don't let..."
Eu não vou aceitar isso.
Good. You're still listening to reason. You step forward. You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation.
Do you actually...
It's like, yeah, but it's over, is it?
Eu não vou aceitar, cara.
It's over. We should... I read and why I've told... Yes,
Sai daqui.
exactly. It's over.
Ela morreu,
With your
cara.
work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Agora,
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
matei. Não quero saber, não, cara.
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience. But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
Saí.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom. Only, a world saved from certain doom isn't what you
Só
find.
que o que você encontra não
Instead,
é
what you
mundo
find
salvo da
is
descrição
nothing at
certa.
all.
Em vez disso,
Where a
tem
lush
outro
forest
no meio.
stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened? Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them. Don't worry. You'll be safe here. This is good.
Todos
Everyone
estão
is
bem.
happy.
É só que você
You'll
acabou
be
de
happy.
ficar bem longe deles. Não se preocupe, você ficará seguro aqui. Que bela porcaria.
What's
Eu quero sair
done
daqui.
is done. And there's no going back now.
Que tu não me
This is
contou,
what's
Fred.
best for everyone. Trust me. Time passes. You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. Psst. Hey. We're not just gonna stay here forever, right? I do.
Joguinho.
But you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this.
Nossa, mano. Isso é
I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on, and I'm afraid that thing is you, dear hero. He's right. It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants this wonderful place to end.
Mas não vai acabar, velho. Porque eu não salvei o mundo e eu não matei essa puta? Então, tá tudo de boa, pô. Só que eu não vou ficar no vazio aqui pra sempre.
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. Don't you dare. What a relief. I suppose we've got all the time in the world for you to change your... More happy time passes, though the word begins to lose its meaning. Please, shake yourself out of it. The little... Eventually you...
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
¿Qué? Eita, eu nem vi o achievement, velho. Eu nem vi o achievement. Depois eu vejo ali na Steam. Tá aqui, ó. Você já se comprometeu a me completar. Você não pode se afastar mais do caminho.
Good, because I have an eye blade. I can hear. He's right. You hear? Do you not? Don't you? How astute. You are absolutely correct. Using the blade to, in a sense, we die, but looking at things from another angle, are we even really alive? I know this is out there, but trust me, I know using the blade will work. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess. It didn't want you. Thank you. I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for saving the world? An eternity of bliss? Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it. You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
Bom, pelo menos é final diferente, né? O espectro. A princesa está morta. Eu matei você, princesa.
You're on a path.
Eu ganhei, princesa!
And at the end of that path is a cabin.
Fresco.
You're here to slay.
Seu cretino, dessa vez eu não quero mais seus truques.
Tricks? What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
Mas fiquei na porra do limbo, caralho.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. That's fine. It wasn't very hard to kill her last time. We'll just do it again. Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Digamos que eu esteja dizendo a verdade. A situação atual já tem acontecido. Por que você daria aviso a você? Por que eu me daria trabalho de agir?
Those are two very different questions, but fine. I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or at least a version of me. If you're back here, I'm assuming you died, which probably only happened because you didn't listen to me. Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too. Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. Believe it or not, I care about you. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of, oh, what's the point of doing anything? If you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences. What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's right back where they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me. Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead transported to a different world entirely? Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
Não teria, mano. Ela seria abduzida por umas mãos gigantes, com os braços, e a gente iria pro vazio também. Aí a gente ia voltar nesse
It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled on us, maybe she's not the only one around here in need of slaying. Just stay focused, will you?
Tá. Dá meia volta e...
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
Ô, filha da puta. Vamos lá. Quero conversar com a princesa. Só que eu não vou contar pra ele, né? Obviamente.
A warning. Before she will lie, she won't.
Ela não será o problema. Vamos lá. Vamos ver o que nos espera agora.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor of dirt permeating the air. Cobwebs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside, banging the shutters against the windows. The only furniture of note is an elegant antique table with a pristine blade perched on the edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Uma armadão, uma espingarda aí, não sei, velho. Um arco e flecha que eu posso bater essa porra de longe.
It feels like no one's been here for a long, long time. Like I've been saying, she's dead. We killed her already.
É o mesmo dublador, né? O herói, o apátrico e o narrador. Vamos pegar o punhal.
You take the blade.
Vamos entrar no puro. O que nos espera dessa vez?
The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell. Everything is coated in a thick layer of dust, and you can feel it settle into your lungs as you breathe in the stale air. The very building itself feels dead. The room below is silent. Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see.
Sem voz? Caralho.
As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view. A skeletal body lying in a heap on the floor, its wrist still bound to the wall by a thick chain.
Ela vai vir e... Caralho, desaprendi a falar. Ela vai vir com formato de fantasma de novo, né?
Okay. She's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of a head appears from underneath the floor.
Essa é uma fralda, é? Eita porra, é a princesa. Olha o olhinho dela ali, ó.
Two deep-set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous
Pois é, mano, eu não posso matar a
grin.
porra de um fantasma.
And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the head. Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here?
Virou fantasma, pô.
Ghost!
Tá acorrentada ali também, ó. Essa rapariga.
Wow. How absolutely terrifying.
Patrick, eu não quero saber.
What's a ghost?
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
O que é que você quer dizer pra mim, princesa?
The princess drifts across the room into your orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your neck as she circles you.
Ela pode me tocar? Puta que pariu, mas vai matar.
Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. That means we could kill her again, if we wanted to.
Será que é assim mesmo?
Without a moment's hesitation, you lash out with your blade. It's like you're slashing at air. No matter how many times you stab at her, no matter how many angles you strike from, All you manage to do is interrupt her form, the skin of your hand prickling with cold as it passes through, unable to find anything solid.
Pô, mano, a mina virou imortal, véi. Ai, ai.
You're adorable when you're confused.
Muito obrigado, princesa.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
Puta que pariu.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job? Or
Não,
what?
velho, você mandou de completar, velho. Aí eu tô aqui, pra morrer também. Tudo bem, se não posso machucar, não tenho mais o que fazer aqui. Acho que vou embora. Deixar ela para porão. Equipe, estou sem ter sugestões, não tenho como ter. Você quer de mim, você está morta, ou quase morta. O que poderia fazer para me machucar? É claro que te ataquei, você acabará com o mundo. Foi por isso que eu te matei a última vez. Eu também morri e não estou flutuando com você.
You don't look dead, killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on yours as you try to squirm out of her grip.
Pô, mas é apelação, ela pode me tocar e eu não posso esfaquear ela?
You don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
Deixa eu conversar mais com ela.
I'm less interested in why you are, or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are.
Peraí, entendi não. Estou menos interessado em saber por que ou como você é, do que em entender o que você é.
I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of this place. Even the spaces between the
A
walls.
gente tem muito que conversar,
But I
amiga.
never found a way out. I just wanted to go home. I'm so cold and alone here.
Deixa que se foda.
But you can come and go as you please, can't you? So, let me hitch a ride.
Até parece que você não vai querer me matar depois.
After all, you own me.
Ave Maria. Ô, princesa. Você já tá muito bonita
Absolutely
aqui.
not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. And I hope I don't need to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her.
Você tá gelada, mas tá com o periquito pegando fogo, né? Quer me possuir, princesa?
Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so badly. You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
Interessante. Se eu te acolher, ainda manterei meu livre-arbítrio. Até parece que ela vai dizer a verdade. O que acontece depois que você sai daqui? Preciso pensar a respeito.
Take your time. I know it's a lot to think about, but I'm very good at waiting.
Tá bom. Deixa eu ver o que, é que eu posso perguntar a essa caralho. Deixa eu ver.
Yes, obviously things are strange right now. I think it's safe to say that you've seen something you shouldn't have seen. Whatever worlds you've hopped between, whatever versions of me you've met, none of that matters now. There's no changing what's already happened. But you have a job to finish. Finish how? We already did what you told us. And now she's a ghost. You haven't tried slaying her yet this time, though.
Yeah.
And then what? And then you'll have saved the world. I think he's asking about what happens after we save the world. If that's even still an option. What do you mean, after? You already know what we mean, don't you? So why don't you go ahead and tell us? Are you going to try and lock us away in a timeless void again? Because I didn't much care for that. I'm not going to lock you anywhere. What an interesting choice of emphasis.
Peraí, vice-princesa, deixa eu conversar pouquinho contigo. Isso aqui é o vídeo pra conversar. Se você está morta, então não me resta muito a fazer. Acho que vou embora, deixar por off.
This isn't a solution. Nobody wins here.
Ô desgraça, como é que eu vou matar essa porra se ela não morre?
You're...
Ah, mano, o que é que tu vai fazer?
Oh, she's upset.
Acho que se
Isn't
foda,
she?
mano. Ela já me matou inúmeras vezes aqui, mano.
You're abandoning me here?
Vou.
It would seem so, yes.
After everything you've done to me, you've chosen to do more?
The princess starts to float erratically from side to side, her cold exterior
Vai
melting away.
embora, moço. Ela já disse que não pode sair da cabana, não vai?
But if you just leave me, then I'm really just going to be stuck here forever. Then there's nothing we can do. It's just going to go on and on and on and on, lonely and sad and hurting and empty.
Mas você se foda, amiga.
No, not that.
Se fodeu.
She's about to try something. Get ready. The princess passes through you, a chill rippling along your skin, a disappointed sigh echoing in your ears.
Apareceu a opção pra eu ir embora. Ele não foi por quê, cara?
You turn and face her as she hovers between you and the stairs.
Caralho.
Spectral tears streak down her cheeks as she places a translucent hand on your chest.
Ih, rapaz, vai arrancar meu
It feels
coração.
cold,
Virou a little piece
but
of heaven.
otherwise like nothing. Are we doing the right thing? Why do I feel so sad? Don't let her get to you. It doesn't matter. Somehow, soon, this too will be over, and we'll move on to
Era pra ter
something
deixado
new.
essa puta ir embora no meu
I feel
corpo,
like you all
então.
keep forgetting that. Her dark-rimmed eyes fall to the floor as she speaks.
I never wanted to have to hurt anybody. It's not who I wanted to
Aham,
be.
vi. Você em forma de capeta, amassando minha cara na parede.
The tears on her cheeks vanish. She lifts her head, sorrow replaced with wrath, staring into you with fiery anger.
But I guess you've turned me into something worse.
Caldo do caralho.
She forces her hand into your chest, and then... Yes? Nothing happens. Are you sure about that?
Devia ter me matado, né?
Something should have happened. And yet it didn't. We're fine.
Ela vai espremer o coração da gente. Você ou?
No.
You can't be sure if you first hear or feel what happens next, but it is over before you can fully conceptualize what it is. A horrific splintering, the squelching of organs, the rending of tissue, an icy, numbing pain.
O que essa porra fez?
I'm done asking. The next time I see you, I'm taking everything I owed. Starting with your body. If you won't choose to give me my freedom, I'll just have to make you give it to me.
É, meu boneco não quis ir embora.
She's real now. If she's making us dead, we should return the favor.
Levar a princesa.
You swing your blade towards her briefly corporeal throat. It connects. A gash widens across her neck, glowing ectoplasm leaking from the wound. But it's too little, too
Arranca
late.
corações.
In her hand, you realize she clutches your still beating heart. It thumps unsettlingly.
Ih, pegou meu coração. Virou a little piece of heaven.
Did we get her?
Ah, dessa vez
Even if we
sabe.
didn't, we've given her something to remember.
See you soon, killer.
Até.
I'm afraid you'll never know. As she crushes your precious organ in her hand, everything goes dark, and you die.
Triste. O espectro, a aparição. The Wraith.
You're on a path in the wood, and
Nossa.
here we go again. Off to slay her. The deck's stacked, isn't it? We kill her, we start again. She kills us as a goddamn ghost, we start again. I'm starting to think we're being run in circles just for the sake of it. Come on, let's not give in to all that misery just yet. There's got to be a way out of this.
Eu não sei,
There's
mano.
got to be a right answer.
Ela vai ter, nossa, até imagino como ela pode estar.
Yeah. And what if there isn't? Aren't you listening to me? What if that's ridiculous? There'd be no point in all this if it was just some kind of cosmic busy work. I think that's exactly what it is. The powers that be seeing how many ways they can screw with us. Could be it's all some kind of sick joke to them.
Faz sentido, cara.
Okay, so you've already been here. Twice even. Great. Then let me poke a few holes in your depressing little theory. Nobody here is screwing with you, and I can't imagine any scenario where you would have started over after slaying the princess. Well, we didn't have to start over. We killed ourselves. And why, pray tell, did you do that? Because you decided to foist an infinite tedium on us. That doesn't sound like me. If I'd had everything my way, you would have effortlessly slain the princess, saved the world, and been given your happy ending. The ending was the tedium. You locked us in a cabin and sent that cabin to an endless void, and then you told us we were happy. Well, were you happy? Of course we weren't happy. That's why we killed ourselves. It was awful. Yes, and then she killed us. Even though she was already dead. This is all fake. Okay, let's try to get back on track. You're real. The princess is real. The world is real. The people in the world are real. And the danger she poses to all of them is also, quite unfortunately, real.
Pois é.
Whatever you did the first time, it sounds like it almost worked. So how about you give it one last try? Because killing yourself seems to undo all the good you almost managed to accomplish. All this standing around and talking is boring. Let's at least do something. Maybe we'll kill her again. Maybe we won't. Maybe we'll even free her. You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world itself is at a tipping point. Know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't. And you can just keep making the correct choice forever, never deviating.
What?
How convenient, everything always comes back to what you want us to do. I'm sick of him. Makes me want to end the world out of spite.
Pois é, mano. Vou deixar essa puta sair agora, dependendo de como ela se comportar.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think the more he talks, the more I'm interested in setting her free. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care? It sounds like somebody's about to crack. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path forward, fluttering helplessly as opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... That's strange. What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't much of anything in here at all, aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade?
Não sei, amigo, eu também tô me perguntando isso.
Great. Something else has been taken away from us.
Pois é, tiraram a faca da gente.
I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it? You slowly make your way towards the gaping maw that awaits you. Your fraying nerves buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. We've always been watched. You're watching us right now. Sometimes the feeling is just stronger than others. I feel like you're trying to put us on edge. We don't need all this anticipation. We just need this to be over. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. What are the odds she's waiting for us right now, just out of sight, on the other side of that glass? You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Nothing. It's like this place read our mind just to mess with us.
What you looking at, killer? Staring into the void? Thinking about what it'd be like to die again? I know exactly how you feel.
Essa porra tem 4 olhos, mano.
Shit. Where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then it, she, the princess, constrict your bones, snap.
Pô, já vai me matar, mano, sem conversa?
Icy pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with a terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved jagged from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
Ela tá em forma de cadáver.
But do you know how I feel? I gave you a path to forgiveness. I gave you a chance to make things right. But you decided it would be best to try and bury me all over again.
Você sabe quantas vezes tu já me matasse, puta?
You're not getting another chance to mess this up. So, here's how this is going to go. I'm going to take your body, and I'm going to walk it out of here.
É, quanto a isso eu não tenho o que fazer, né, mano? Eu sou uma galinha gigante.
And you get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
I say we let her do it. It's something different. Do we even have a choice? You always have a choice. Maybe before, but not now. There isn't a blade this time.
Mano, você tem a porra desse pé de galinha gigante, mano. Desce o cacete nela.
Exactly. What choice is there if there isn't a blade? Well, unless you have any specific ideas, I think my vote's the only one that counts.
Aqui, né?
And you think that's even? How adorable!
Não vai ganhar com ela, né?
But I think you forgot about the part where you tried leaving me to rot.
Ah, foi mesmo.
If I were you, I would just want to get it over with. You lost your chance to call the shots. There's no going back to fix it now. You can either look on in horror or celebrate my freedom. But either way, you're about to become a passenger.
Ô novinha, mas você já me matou 20 vezes, velho. Tu acha que eu ia te confiar meu corpo, velho? Pra tu se jogar da porra do penhasco? Pra mas com merda aqui com o fio do fone. Desfiz a merda.
I don't think you get the magnitude of hatred that sits between us. You've broken more trust than I thought I
had. Que confiança, puta. Oxi. Ai, tomando teu cu. Ninguém falou de relação de confiança aqui não, seu caralho.
Oh, we're past the point of compromise. I'm taking your body, and there's nothing you can do to stop me.
Eu vou dar um chute na sua cara e desmontar todinha sua rapariga.
Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle.
Dá uma ajoelhada no pescoço dela aí, rapaz.
Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head?
Pois é, por aí que mandaram mensagem aqui, deixa eu ver. Tá.
And crush you along with her? Not that I even can manifest a rock. Besides, I thought you all wanted to free the princess. Not like this.
Pois é, né, velho? Essa porra deu na opção agora.
You don't even have a weapon, so I'm afraid you're out of luck, which unfortunately means that I, and the rest of the world, are out of luck too.
Pois é, mano. Cadê?
And whose fault is it there isn't a weapon here? Yours, I assume. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Whatever you did in those previous lives of yours, you really messed up.
Esse mundo aqui desandou mesmo.
Are you seriously trying to blame this on us? Your vision fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel so cramped in here, like there's some sort of growth trying to push us all out.
Eita, vai expulsar as vozes.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support. There's another option, you know.
Yeah, tá escutando.
Don't help either of them. Flip the table.
How do you do that? You don't have a will to wield. There's always a brain of courage.
That gap where the mirror was, I don't think it goes anywhere. Let's throw ourselves into the abyss.
You wouldn't dare. Move now.
Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
It's not that bad. The pain feels good. Because I know you feel it too.
Cala a boca, puta. É o corpo do abismo!
In a single moment of overwhelming willpower, you tear your body from the wall and hurl it towards the gaping abyss.
I won't let you do that.
Capillaries burst and muscle fibers tear as you and the princess struggle over the reins of your body. One foot planted firmly on the edge where the floor ends, and the nothing begins. It's unquestionable that her reserves are greater than yours, but fortunately for you, the distance you have to cover is far shorter. Enough is enough. I'm tired of us always losing. It's...
Even if you throw yourself into the abyss, you still lose.
Eu sou mais perdido do que ver uma puta controlando meu corpo de galinha.
You throw everything you have against her and manage, for one brief moment, to overpower the princess's hold on your body. But that moment was all you needed. Your foot slips a few inches, and you collapse forward, the darkness swallowing you whole.
Why do you hate me?
Eu não te odeio, princesa. Você que me mata aqui, mano.
Her thought slips through you, unheeded as you fall. And
Nossa.
what an end. But at least it's ours. An empire of frigid nothing. I don't think this qualifies as saving the world, but at least you didn't ruin it.
É.
What happens now?
What do you mean what happens now? You wanted it.
But I want to know what he thinks happens now.
I don't think you're going to find that out.
Oh? And why is that?
You just paid attention to your head. You left. Gone. It's just you and you and you and me. Idiot.
Ele quem? O narrador?
He's gone. But
A velocidade terminal cessa e você sente algo, uma massa mãe em intumescência sendo arrancada de você. Você e a princesa olham um para o outro por um breve momento.
What's happening to me?
Olha só quem voltou, rapaz, a entidade. Vamos lá,
she's
hein?
gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Vamos lá.
This
Vamos ver agora aí.
doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. It's going to do something to us. I can feel it. Ignore the cowards. You have to look.
Tá, vamos lá, um reflexo. Você se destrinçou. Só pôr um urubu gigante, mano. Vou conversar com aquela maconheira agora. Você se encontra no silêncio inabalável mais uma vez. Começou a musiquinha. Tá, vamos conversar com ela.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. I am curious to see what it means for us to know it. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in others, so she found it in herself. She will make for a driven heart.
Tá bom.
Do not mourn her. She isn't alone anymore.
Tá ok. Deixa eu ver.
No, their minds are empty, existent, but constantly shifting into something new. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
Será? Eu vou ser maconheiro que nem ela aqui.
It's nice to be with someone whose thoughts I can never know as mine.
Lá fora onde, velho? Você já tá me
It doesn't
confundindo
matter
aqui.
if there are. People are frail and impermanent. You and I are the only things that interest me.
Eu vou comer entidade, viu? Espero que você seja gostosa por trás dessas mãos aqui.
No. The point of awakening is to find out.
What?
1. Whatever you bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me. I will be singular, a final multitude.
Então, a última vez que eu vou pra um aspecto, né? Então, muriçoca aqui que precisa ser morta. Matei. Pô, eu fiquei triste, mano. A última vez. Nossa, tanto lá na frente. Nice, vou pra perto. E morreu. Aqui.
You've already tried waiting, but I understand if you need more time. I'll wait with you.
Muito obrigado, novinha. Não vou esperar para sempre.
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours of your heart. The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
Tá bom.
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something, but nothing cannot exist on its own, and because of that, nothing can't exist.
Nossa, mano, não entendi nada. Estou pronto para voltar.
The next time I see you, each of us will finally know what we are. I will be here, waiting for you.
Quando fica escuro eu morro. Um coração determinado leva a aparição para ela. The Hero and the Princess.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess.
Pois é, pessoal, mais um episódio fica por aqui. Já sabemos que o próximo será... Não sei se é o último, não sei como é que vai funcionar esse bagulho. Mas eu fiquei curioso, mano. Eu vou tentar platinar esse jogo. Tentar várias opções, várias transformações da princesa, o que eu poderia fazer, o que eu poderia não fazer. Mas sabemos que o próximo será o último e vamos saber o que essa porra é. Eu já sei que eu sou a porra de um frango gigante, de uma galinha. Essa entidade eu não sei o que é, velho, mas só sei que eu vou passar a rola nela. Espero que ela fique com a skin de princesa normal, não fique aquela porra daquela skin de cachorro, de fantasma fudido e zumbi, né? E é isso, até o próximo episódio, valeu! Deixa eu salvar o primeiro, né? Salvar aqui. E até o próximo episódio, valeu!